House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin reached an agreement Tuesday to take the threat of a government shutdown at the end of the month off the table. This bipartisan agreement comes after several days of back and forth negotiations between Democrats and Republicans over the stopgap funding measure, which would fund the government through December 11th. 359 to 57 House vote means that this bill will now go to the Senate, which could take it up later this week, and then to President Trump's desk. Good news, guys, is that White House officials say they do not want a government shutdown, and Trump is expected to sign the bill. Before we get into the rest of the video, if you're a returning subscriber, thanks for your continued support. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing and turning on the notification bell, as I'm posting valuable new information at least twice a week. Alright, Joe Dolls, as far as the content and the continuing resolution, the Trump administration and Republicans demanded an infusion of money into a farm bailout program. The agreement includes tens of billions of dollars in funds for the Commodity Credit Corporation, a priority for Republican and bipartisan members from agricultural states and districts, which replenish aid to farmers. The measure also includes nearly $8 billion in nutrition assistance, which has been a Democratic priority during these negotiations. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi stated, "We have reached an agreement with Republicans in the continuing resolution to add nearly $8 billion in desperately needed nutrition assistance for hungry school children and families. We also increased accountability in the Commodity Credit Corporation, preventing funds for farmers from being misused for a big oil bailout." So the legislation, called a continuing resolution or CR, would keep every federal agency running at current funding levels through December 11th, which will keep the government afloat past the election. The measure also extends many programs whose funding or authorization lapsed on September 30th, including federal flood insurance program, highway or transit programs, and a long set of extensions of various health programs, such as provisions to prevent Medicaid cuts to hospitals that severely affect poor people. Bottom line, guys, Congress needs to pass a spending bill by September 30th, the last day in the 2020 fiscal year, or large portions of the government would begin to shut down. The bill would also have to be signed by President Donald Trump ahead of the government shutdown deadline. Now, even with much attention on Capitol Hill focused on the Supreme Court vacancy created by the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, may she rest in peace, there is agreement on both sides to avoid a government shutdown. Now, guys, as far as stimulus negotiations, hopes of Congress being able to pass the stimulus bill before the end of the month and even ahead of the U.S. election are slowly fading as other issues draw focus away from stimulus talk. The replacement of Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg is now dominating attention in Washington, and hopes are fading that lawmakers will be able to pass another stimulus relief package, and with it a second stimulus check. Agreeing on overall relief package has proved more difficult, with talks between Democratic congressional leaders and the White House at an impasse since early August. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer have said they are willing to drop their $3.4 spending in the HEROES Act to $2.2 trillion, while Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin and the Chief of Staff Mark Meadows have said the White House can go as high as $1.3 to $1.5 trillion. Now, Republicans in the Senate this month failed to pass a $500 billion skinny relief package, which did not include a second check. Now, the Problem Solvers Caucus, which is a bipartisan group of lawmakers, sought to jumpstart the process last week by unveiling a relief proposal worth a potential $2 trillion. Now, it is a framework plan and is not expected to be voted on at this time. Problem Solvers Caucus, who are made up of 25 Democrats and 25 Republicans, said instead the aim was to help break gridlock on the latest relief package negotiation and to get everyone back to the bargaining table. Now, the good news is that Trump hinted at a willingness to move closer to Democrats' desired outlook when he tweeted a call for higher numbers. Now, the House is scheduled to go on a recess on October 2nd to allow lawmakers to focus on the upcoming elections, but House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has said that the chamber will remain in session until her bill has been agreed upon. Despite her statement, guys, political experts remain very pessimistic over the chances of a package going through before the November election. What are you guys' thoughts about the House passing this continuing resolution and the state of stimulus negotiations? Please leave your feedback below. If you found value in the video, be sure to hit the like button and share it on your social media platforms. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell, as I'm posting valuable new content at least twice a week. Thanks for watching, and until